I want to welcome the GMs and the wives, the godly men and the warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women out there. My name is Thaddeus, and this is the Regal Change YouTube channel. And today I want to discuss why they want you to be easily manipulated and they're not going to play fair. And I'm talking about not only monitoring spirits, but most worldly people in general. And I don't know about you guys, but I've had situations in my life where my life has been on the line in one way, shape, or form or another. And the decisions that I've made would have a direct impact facing real life right in front of me in real time, right? And the thing that I've learned with the business world and just people that are worldly or greedy or have these kinds of sins that are based in the love of money and not the love of God is that what they are capable of doing is being more ruthless in a snaky way than almost anyone else on the planet. Because at least the people that are trying to rob you, like when I was younger, we had people that were trying to rob us at one point. And the people that were trying to rob us were at least in front of us, clearly trying to rob us, right? They didn't succeed, but it was clear that they were trying to take something from us. And now in the business world, and just altogether with business in general, sometimes you have the possibility of being involved with people that seem to have your best interest at heart until the price is paid. And this is what is called in the business world, this is called the bait and switch. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of that, but the bait and switch is a marketing tactic that is a sneaky, sly marketing tactic that basically tries to upsell somebody on promoting a product or getting this person the product that they want. Imagine this. It's like telling you that you are going to be looking at this Ferrari. This is a great Ferrari. You go to see the Ferrari, you take the test drive. It seems nice. It seems like a Ferrari, and you go to buy it. And then as soon as you go to buy it and you make the purchase, suddenly you realize that this Ferrari was actually only cloaked and it only looked like a Ferrari on the outside, but on the inside it has all of the interior, like in the engines and such. All of the insides actually have the interior of like a 2003 Saturn. Okay. Or a Kia. And so you basically just got swindled, right? This is what a lot of monitoring spirits and a lot of worldly people want you to be. They want you to be the sucker that cannot stand up for themselves, does not do their own research, and is not capable of critical thinking. And when you do those things, they're going to watch you even more. They're going to try to target you even more because, or they're going to completely ignore you altogether, right? Those are really the two options that usually happen whenever you have a monitoring spirit in your life. Now, last night I had a dream and I've been dealing with monitoring spirits for a while. I didn't know exactly what they were called or what to call them up into the last few years, but I've been dealing with monitoring spirits my whole life, basically. And over the past few weeks, I've had an increase in monitoring spirits, and I've had a significant spiritual battle behind the scenes, just in general, where in my prayers, there's a saying that the prayer is the battle. Right? The prayer is not just praying to God. It's actually the spiritual battle where the spiritual battle happens. And so in my prayers, I've been battling these certain kinds of demonic entities and spirits that have been trying to infiltrate my life. And last night I had a dream that there were 4 or 5 black birds that were watching me while I was sleeping. And in the dream, and it was so real, it was so very real. In the dream, I woke up, not literally. But in the dream, I had woken up from my bed. I saw these 4 or 5 black birds, and it turned out that there would be 5. I looked at the 5 birds. I grabbed a broom, and I tried to move them and meander them out of my house, out of the apartment, over to the door. And I was able to get them over to the door, and I got them out the door. But they were very reluctant to do so because they had placed certain nests of watching in my home and that I didn't even know about. And so I would look under the sink, or I would look over in the windowsill, and I would see, it was very strange. It was a nest with a bunch of like mini eggs of, I don't know exactly what they were, but they intuitively, it felt like they were being bred to watch me. And so these birds were breeding eggs and nests to have more watchers over me. But it was a very dark energy. It was a very dark energy. And I had thrown them all out. I'd thrown them all out of my house, and I was able to get them out. But it took a lot of energy for me to do so. And when I woke up from the dream, I felt as if I was in the trenches of war to some degree. It was like my spirit was exhausted because the birds were like watching over me for so long that I didn't even realize they were doing so. This is the creepiest part about monitoring spirits, and just being around worldly people in general. It can be very dangerous for your spirit because you don't even realize that telepathically these people are trying to leech onto your energy. And because you are someone that has been through a lot, like if you're watching this video and you have any kind of similar kind of consciousness, and we're operating on some kind of similar vibrancy and vibration, then I completely understand and trust that you've had some kind of form of trauma in your experience, or some kind of form of overcoming that you've had to do, or that you are doing right now. You've had to make a lot of sacrifices. And to this day, I'm still making sacrifices. I'm still making sacrifices because I understand that I want to invest in myself for the long term. But if the investments that I'm making are not necessarily investments that are getting an ROI, a return on investment, why would I waste my time? Right? And because I would much rather prefer to spend $10,000 to $20,000 on myself and building something for myself and my family legacy eventually. I would rather spend that amount of money than try to go like get a new house or a new car or something, right? Like, because everybody is so focused nowadays on impulse, like they have no impulse control. And so the same people that are so focused on trying to look good for other people, or trying to like think that, oh, I've got all the answers. Like, no, you fucking don't. Nobody has all the answers. Life, the second that you were born, life is a continual educational process. And not anybody has anybody of the answers that anybody's looking for. Not anybody has those answers. The only real answers that you're ever going to get is inside yourself. That's it. And that's what these monitoring spirits don't understand. At least the people that are, I would necessarily say that they're possessed by these monitoring spirits, because they don't have themselves. That's why they're watching you. That's why they're looking into your life. And so in many ways, it's almost like challenging just to be who you are, because people don't want you to be someone that is capable of standing up for yourself. They don't want you to be able to defend yourself, because then you'd expose their fraudery. You'd expose who they really are. And some people, they don't really care, right? They don't really care. Other people might They might care depending on the kind of monitoring spirit that you're dealing with, but there are some people that are genuinely so vexing in their behavior and their stature that they don't care even if you find out they're evil. They don't care because that's just who they are, and they're not afraid of being that kind of person, and they're not afraid of having that kind of vindictive mindset toward people that are actually trying to change their lives for the better. This is something that is very dangerous that you have to be aware of. And when I say this, I'm pointing a finger right back to myself, because sometimes I can get so caught up in life just being a miracle. Like, I was on a walk yesterday. It was the most beautiful day we've had here in nearly 6 months where I live. It was like 60 degrees Fahrenheit for those outside of the U.S. that are watching this. And so it was a very warm day considering that it's been like snow on the ground for the last 6 months. And I went on a walk and I sat on a bench and I was overlooking the mountains, and I was noticing the sun going down and the sun beaming on the mountaintops with the snow still on the mountaintops, but the grass was starting to get really green here in the valley. And I just was in awe and wonder at the beauty of the world and the universe around us. And just to think that here we are. Wow. Like, wow. Here we are in this universe, this vast thing that nobody really knows where it begins and when it, like, where it ends, or when it begins and when it ends. And yet there's also possibilities that there could be aliens out there, man. Like, it was just kind of this inspiring but fulfilling moment of just contentment as well for the moment, and just the appreciation for the moment. And there's a difference between satisfaction and fulfillment, in my opinion, because what I've found is that it's better to be free and better to be in awe and wonder and be alone than it is to feel satisfied around other people but not fulfilled. And this is what I think a lot of these monitoring spirits, a lot of these business people, the people that are dealing with greed, etc., what they're dealing with, and the people that think they know everything and they already have all the answers. I'm the first one to tell you guys never to take anything I say to the deepest core. Like, you should not take anything I say as the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, I tell the truth to the best of my abilities, but I don't need to be right. I'm always learning, and I'm always able to accept when I make a mistake. I take accountability for my actions, and I accept that sometimes the decisions that I make are not going to be in the best interest for my overall process, but I'm going to make the risk sometimes anyway, because it's a risk. And I'd rather risk investing in myself and it failing than to just try to keep up with the Jones because I want people to think I have a more lavish life than I really do. And this is what it means to be in awe of the universe. To follow Jesus. To live with purpose and passion. And this is what so many people are missing. And I hope somebody out there gets edification from this message. And I hope this inspires you to go do something more meaningful with your life. Who cares if these people are watching you? Yes, it's creepy. It's fucking weird. But that's not going to stop me, and it shouldn't stop you from going after your dreams. And with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.